So I want to give some people some advice on cutting out people from their lives. Okay, because I've seen it done successfully, and seen it done pretty horribly. Like
Right.
worst, hey, if you could do anything, don't do this. And I've seen people where they'll have friends and they kind of make a scene out of it where they're like, I just need to cut myself away. And they're like, and then the people naturally go, who are their friends, go, well, why? And they go, you know what? I'm not prepared to talk about it. And they start kind of going from that. And it's like, you're kind of making a scene. Like what I have found is the best is praying honestly. If you need a better support system, analyze certain behavioral patterns within yourself as well. That's important because you can go, well, am I cultivating this type of negative environment as well? Am I participating in these conversations? Am I actually encouraging these things that are actually weaknesses for other people, where they tend to drift into negativity if we talk about certain topics? If we talk about then it becomes just this pool of despair. What I found works the best is actually, number one, praying and asking God to open doors for other friends, analyzing myself first above anybody else. Like that's like number one of going like, because then it's easy to shift into it's their problem, they're the problem. But sometimes it could be my tendency to lean towards certain types of conversations. And that's actually on me. And so looking at it from that, so praying and asking God for new friends or a better support system, then praying and analyzing yourself. And then honestly, a lot of times, guys, for me, it's been just like, hey, I don't reach out as much. I don't reach out to those friends as much to hang out. And then God opens up other doors and you don't even have to do anything. Because my whole thing is I want to leave the door open with those people to actually be able to access whether they're unbelievers, like I want to keep that door open to be able to, but there should maybe be some distance. Some people are in situations where there should be some distance between those unsaved friends, and you find yourself maybe drinking, and doing other things. You find yourself continuing to go into those types of behaviors. This would be a great time to kind of distance yourself from those people. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I think, to be honest, one thing my dad taught me when I was growing up was, you can have friends at school, you can have friends at your gym, you can have friends on your football team, you can have friends at church and, different places, but then you can have friends who belong in your phone, you can have friends who belong in your house and in your inner circle. Yeah, and I think sometimes we lose sight of that some people just need to stay at the gym. Like, hey, I'll see you. I'll talk to you at the gym. I'll be Christ-like and show you Jesus.
Yeah, that's good.
But they don't need to enter your personal life.
Right.
Same thing, whether it's a football team, whether it's in your school, maybe some people watching, you're taking classes somewhere. Okay, maybe it's your job. Some friends need to stay at your place of employment. Not everybody needs to enter your private life. And here's the thing. Really Jesus had his 12 disciples, but then he had his 3, Peter, James, and John, that walked up close to him and prayed with him in the Garden of Gethsemane, or that he asked to pray with him, okay? Because realistically, you forget, some people got to understand this. Jesus, a lot of times we forget that there were 70 that left him. So he had 82 that started with him and ultimately finished with 11 because one hung himself and 70 left him. So think about that. That's 71 people that turned their back on him. Come on, how many of you have had somebody turn their back on you? Or you felt like, man, I trusted that person. I gave my heart and my time to that person. But did Jesus sit and act defeated? No, he did not. He kept going, with the mission that God gave him. And therefore, he had the people that surrounded him, uplifted him. But he also had those 3 close people. But then there were many times Jesus just had to go be to himself. Come on, we've got to understand that sometimes we need to just go get with God and stop relying on the opinions of everybody else. Sometimes you don't hear the word of God because you're tuning out the word of God and tuning in the words of other people and what their flesh is saying, and then saying, oh, well, that's the word of God. No. Did you get the word of God? Or did somebody else get the word of God or a thought in their flesh because maybe they care emotionally about you? And then you sat back and said, oh, well, that is God right there. No. Did you go pray about what they told you and then hear it in your spirit, in your prayer closet?
Yep.
Listen, okay, we're not here to question God, but we are here to put God to hold true to his word, meaning that you should go in your time and pray upon the things that have been spoken to you and see if it is God.
Yep.
Okay? He can speak to you just as much as he speaks to Anthony, myself, to Jeff, whoever. So I encourage the audience, get with God and let that be your source.